New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
What's going on? It's JEllis from the Knick of Time show here, giving you that Knicks talk just in the nick of time. And it's time to celebrate, man, because the Knicks are one game away from reaching the Eastern Conference Finals the first time since 2000. So we're here to celebrate, but we're also here to give you a pregame breakdown of the Knicks versus Pacers. And today we have a very special guest. Before I introduce the special guest, I'm gonna introduce you to my guys and lady. First and foremost, it's the man, the myth, the legend, the guy with the stats and the facts.
Brian G's in the building. Glad to be here to talk Knicks basketball with Wilson Chandler, Knicks alumni. Loved this game when he was with the Knicks. Sad to see him go in that Melo trade. Glad he's here to talk basketball with us. Let's go.
Let's go. And of course, you already know it's the Latin assassin, Lee Escobedo, in the building. What's going on, Lee?
Double blessings to Wilson Chandler, a great human being, a great former Knick, and my personal favorite Knicks draft pick. And I think a great example of how Isaiah Thomas had great eye for talent in the draft, drafting my main man, Wilson.
Yeah, Isaiah low-key had the talent, that eye for talent for sure. He picked a lot of good ones. And of course, you already know it's our XD1 baller, our girl Ebony in the building. What's going on, Ebony? You know you muted.
I start the show on mute all the time. And I'm excited to get to talk to Wilson Chandler, definitely, for a tourist game.
Yes.
Happy belated.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yes.
You as well. It's already.
Yeah, you guys already know. You don't need no introduction. It's the man from DePaul, drafted to the Knicks, our two-way player, the guy who shouldn't have went in the trade, my man, Wilson Chandler. What's going on, Wilson?
Man, appreciate you guys, man, for having me on. It's a pleasure.
Absolutely. And I know we kind of started talking a little bit behind the scenes before the show started. So this is my questions anyway, but we already decided to talk about it. But I just want to kind of recap. Like, where were you when the trade happened? Because I'm gonna tell you from my perspective, when the Melo trade was happening, in my mind, I'm like, all right, I know players are gone, but they can't take everybody. They can't take everybody. So I was like, I know Gallo was doing his thing. He was like the stretch 3-4. He was kind of like almost the first in his kind, almost before Porzingis, really. And then you was there. He was 3-and-D. I was like, you know what? I feel like they're going after Gallo, but if we keep Wilson, we good, because then we'll have the 3-and-D next to him. And it didn't work out like that. So I just want to know, like, how did you find out you was going to be traded? And did you even know? And what was your feelings about it?
I had an idea. That day after we got back from All-Star break at practice, normally you have like front office walking around, they'd be around checking in and out. But they wasn't there that day. Amari wasn't there. So I'm like, oh, yeah, definitely something happening today. So practice finished, went home, was asleep. And my girl, she woke me up like, oh, you been traded to Denver. I said, word? I like, stop playing with me right now.
The sleep train.
Yeah, facts. And that's how it happened. But, it's Melo. So it's just like.
Right.
What you gonna do? I would have made the trade. So you know what I mean.
Nah, I hear you. Did you know about the trade for Melo before it was happening?
We speculated. That was the big thing all year. Melo to the Knicks. So we all knew it was happening at some point. Just who was gonna be in the trade? It ended up being a huge trade. It was a 3-team trade. I forgot how many players, but that was a.
I hear you. I hear you.
Yeah, I think that trade like set the standards for future trades, like with superstars, like demanding a lot. Like now we see a lot of teams demand a lot for their stars.
Nah, I agree. I definitely agree. Man, so let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. So Knicks versus Pacers is coming on tonight. I feel like the Knicks have done their job so far. They've done their job so far. We're up 3-2. We're heading into enemy territory, into Indiana, where the Pacers, they've been undefeated. And so they've been undefeated so far. They've won 10 games in a row in the regular season. They've won all their games in the playoffs. So my question to you is, do you feel like the Knicks will actually take this win in Indiana? And if so, what is the recipe to take that win?
I believe so. If you look back at game 3, I think it was a couple instances where we made a few mistakes, but we should have won that game. The last game should have been a closeout game at the Garden. We should have won game 3. So I look at that game and I have confidence that they can close it out here in game 6. I think keep putting pressure on Halliburton, not only defensively, but make him guard as well. I think that's been the struggle with him. He has the guard,
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
I got a question for you, Wilson. First of all, free Palestine. I love the hat, my man. I know you've been a bit supporter on social media of the movement, and we appreciate that. Considering this Knicks team, you were one of those rare players we had during the 2000s that was a two-way player. You could be depended on for spot-up shooting. You could also play defense and guard, but two through 4. Sometimes even guard the point. And now this Knicks team has really developed a team of like-minded players. They finally caught on. After 2 decades, you need guys that play defense at all 5. What do you think the importance of OG Anunoby coming back? I'm looking forward. Let's say we beat Indiana, as I think we will. But against that Boston series, what do you think the key matchups are between OG and Tatum, and how can OG slow Tatum down at that position? Because that would be the marquee matchup if we end up facing Boston in the East Conference Finals.
OG, I think Leon Rose and those guys did a great job adding him. I think, with the culture being built, as it has the past few years, I think adding him was easy. Like, that's our type of player. And I think even from the fan standpoint, that's our type of player, just being a hard-working talent. Want guys like that, to give up their body to do what's necessary for the team to win every night. But in the next series, not looking past Indiana, but, with Tatum and him versus each other, I think making Tatum take tough shots. I think we've seen during the playoffs the last couple years, especially this year, that he'd take tough shots, and I think baiting him into taking the tougher shots is kind of like what he has to do, because he'll settle for tough shots a lot. I think Tatum is great, obviously, especially when he's mixing it up outside and inside. And these playoffs, he's been reliant, and also tough long too. So I think just baiting them and taking those shots is the biggest difference.
I'm not trying to get ahead of myself. Indiana is still the opponent.
Yeah, we can't forget that. We got a game tonight.
I just don't think
facts. We definitely don't want them to lose, and people watch this show like, man, they were talking about this.
Now we ain't losing, but I feel
I'm an eternal optimist. I just don't think that Indiana has that wing that we really need OG for. To me, that's a Nets series. And when I think about you and your player type, OG to me is the best comparison we've had in a long, long time to what your game was. So that's why I want to pose that question about the matchup with Tatum.
Siakam's still killing us.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
Siakam's still killing us. I'm just letting you know.
But it's twos. I can take the twos. I take the twos. Don't give them threes and such. I take.
I think the Celtics is like a team where when they making their threes, they tough, man.
I think the Celtics is kind of similar to the Pacers.
No, I agree. The Celtics are similar to the Pacers.
The thing about the Celtics and the Pacers, though, I hate the Pacers. They have court offense sucks. When they out in transition, they're dangerous, but they have court offense sucks.
Yes,
exactly. I feel you. I feel like whenever we've been able to hold them in transition, we've been good. The only person who's really been killing us in the half court might be Siakam. That's it.
TJ.
Yeah, you can live with that, if it's just him. Yeah, TJ, but
Burke shut him down.
Last couple games. Yeah, we realize that. You make him guard, man. Make him take them long shots, man. We good. Keep him out the paint, because all you want to do is penetrate, take that close mid range, or pass it out. You know what I mean? But we keep them under control. We keep them, like I said, minimize the transition buckets when we good to half court. Siakam gonna score in half court. That's kind of like his game. But I think those trail threes from Miles Turner in transition and getting Halliburton going in transition is the keys.
Absolutely.
Facts. Okay, Wilson, so I got a question for you. So, of course, game 4, we know the Knicks got blown up by the Pacers, and then in game 5, the Knicks pretty much returned the favor and blew out the Pacers. Is there any changes that you saw from game 4 going into game 5 that the Knicks did that contributed to their win and that they could carry on into game 6?
Yeah, like I said, the transition was one. I mean, two, one, take that back. One, being back at home in front of the fans, like the Garden has been rocking the whole playoffs. So I think that gives players the confidence right there that they didn't have on the road. But limiting that transition is a huge part, with Halliburton as well. Like when you slow him down, you slow the whole team down. If he's not pushing it and getting easy baskets and getting assists and stuff like that, like their offense is terrible.
I agree.
It's stagnant.
How would you stop Siakam? Because I know you were defender. You are the defender for us in the Knicks. I feel like Siakam to me still is the biggest problem. We have Miles McBride here, who's he shut down Halliburton a little bit. I'm hoping for a repeat performance on him from Miles McBride. But to me, Siakam is the guy that OG is giving us the most trouble in that half court. What would you do to kind of slow him down?
Yeah, Siakam is definitely a problem. Like I said, he's the only person they have closed down in the half court. He can get you a bucket, whether it's pick and pop, pick and roll, or an ISO bucket in the mid post. So with him, I would just try to shade him to his weekend and make him take tough fall away mid ranges, keep him away from the basket. Switch to pick and rolls with him. I think with Josh Hart and all those other guys, they can guard him one-on-one. Try not to help too much. Just make it tough on him. I think once we start helping on him, and then they start moving it around that perimeter, that we get in trouble attacking the closeouts and getting open threes and stuff like that.
Yes, I have a question. I was very sad to see you go. Super sad. I thought you was the next sit for seriously. You play my favorite side of the ball, which is defense. So I love the toughness you brought to the Knicks and things of that nature. That's one of the things that this Knicks team today has, physicality and toughness and things of that nature. I think that's what separates us and the Pacers. We last game, iHeart dominated on the boards. Do you think we should kind of put him more on Siakam than if we were to and like you said, put a smaller person on the perimeter? Like to guard
like
Miles
that.
Turner and things of that nature, because like you said, Miles Turner has been on the perimeter a lot this series, not much in the post.
I like that. It's just sometimes when you get the mix and matching and stuff like that, people crashing the boards, getting second chance points is the only thing you worry about. But that might not be a problem with this Knicks team.
Yeah,
they gritty. They all on the boards. They all play defense. They all got that toughness, that spirit. So, that definitely might be something we could, not we, because I'm not on the coaching staff, but something, that might happen. It might work. So, yeah, I agree. Definitely, even if it's for a couple minutes, just to give it a different look. You know what I mean? Like, man, what they doing there?
No, I agree. Miles Turner, he don't want to see no dribble time. He's been really soft in the post to me. Every time he's put on the floor, it's been a turnover.
Most definitely. Yeah, last game for sure. So yeah, I can see that, and I think the turnovers, a couple of them were on a big, but I think a lot of them when you're trying to post up smaller players too.
Exactly. I don't want to. I know he's big and he's 7 foot and all, but I don't know. He's a little weak. I don't know if he got it.
I think when he try to go too fast in the post, I think like speeding him up has been a struggle for him. Like once he gets the ball in the post, I think that smaller guard on him, just speeding him up. Mm-hmm. He's trying to make moves too fast.
Nah, I agree with you. What do you feel like it's going to take to stop Halliburton away from home? Because like I said before, the Pacers have really been good at home. So slowing them down to me is going to be paramount. So what do you feel is going to take for the Knicks to slow down Halliburton and get this win?
I think just like I keep going back to the transition. I think stopping his transition game, not letting him get easy buckets, getting out in the open court. I think showing him a crowd early. I think making him drive and be a driver, make him be a scorer as well. I think when he get too comfortable where he's just bringing the ball up the court, he's getting everybody involved. Now he has the confidence. Now he's making shots. I think making it tough for him early, showing in the full court, and also making him be the guy.
Yeah.
Like, he looks like he doesn't want to be the guy. So I think
Yo, can you tell in the huddle, like, because you've been in the playoff run, can you tell in the huddle who's going to be that guy and who's going to shrink by the time it's time to throw the ball in the air? Because to me, he looks like that guy is going to shrink sometimes to me.
Yeah, sometimes you can. Sometimes you got a guy like Kawhi where he got a great poker face.
Good comp.
And then you might got a guy who look like, man, he ready. And he might not be ready. It might just be nerves. So sometimes, it's just hard to tell. I think now, like, watching guys, throughout the playoffs and seeing them, like, who's the guy, who's not. You know what I mean? So Jalen Brunson is the guy.
That's the guy.
Yeah.
That's the guy.
Wilson,
the whole team is those guys, but when you need a bucket in the crunch ISO, he's the guy.
Absolutely. We're real lucky on this podcast. Ebony here, former D1 baller, does a lot of great film breakdowns on X's and O's. And now that we have you on the show, I want to give you an opportunity. What have you seen from Tibbs in terms of adjustments on a defensive end that maybe the average viewer can't tell with their own two eyes like myself? What have you seen from your experience playing basketball that Tibbs has done in this series from game one to now on the defensive end to help slow down their fast-paced offense?
I think what he's done has been limiting the transition, getting back on defense, getting set up, showing crowds, showing hands, making guys finish over the bigs at the rim, not getting in foul trouble early. I think sometimes when the other big was in, which is Mitchell, sometimes he get in foul trouble just, doing little silly reach-ins or coming down after being straight up the whole time. I think now guys are playing real solid defense. They showing crowds, making everything tough, contesting shots. Once they get to the rim, they showing hands, and everything has been tough. They've been real physical with the Pacers, which has helped because they're not really that physical of a team. So I think that's the biggest struggle for them too, like having a team that's disciplined and physical.
That's us. It's New York basketball.
Yeah, New York basketball, baby.
Facts. It's like you get guys in school, but they reach, they foul. Like we doing a good job of being real physical, but showing our hands, not making dumb fouls.
Yeah, I agree. Yo, this is funny because you played in two different eras. You've kind of played in that transition era.
Yeah, facts.
Like I remember watching. I remember watching Channing Frye actually during an interview, and he was talking about how he grew up in an era where when the guard was going down the lane, you would like hip check him or shoulder check him just to like let him know you were here. And then the next year, they would completely call a foul, or if you shoulder checked them or hip checked them now. So it's like watching the game now, like
you'll get in trouble.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Facts. If you didn't hip check or put your hands on the guy coming through the middle of the lane, like your coach gonna let you know, like, what is you doing?
Nah.
Like that was a thing. Like that, you worked on that in practice. Like that's like common at that time. That was a common basketball. Like
that's crazy. What year did that happen? What year did that happen for you? When was that switch?
I think I only played 2 years of that.
2 years. That was like the first 2 years of the Knicks.
Yeah, but I grew up my whole life like learning basketball that way though.
Yeah.
So that was from the ZK to the DanAntoni era when it kind of switched over.
Yeah, not because of DanAntoni. The NBA just, DanAntoni was one of those guys. I like DanAntoni personally. I know he get a lot of, flack or whatever, but he was before his time. Like a lot of teams played away, that style of basketball. They took and added some things. I think with him it was just he didn't stress defense. And I think the Knicks now, the Timberwolves, the Warriors when they had KD and all those guys. I think teams like that did a good job of having that up tempo, but they matched it with the defensive intensity. Miami had it when Brown was down there, so I think the better teams got that free flowing open offense, but they also got that defense where it matches. Like they got the defensive intensity. I think that's what DanAntoni lacked at that time, was like we didn't have as a team the defense.
Do you feel like you would fit
at that time? It was tough. It was tough too because it was rebuilding years. Everybody trying to get ready for Bron, so I don't think went priority list. So you know what I mean. So it's hard to say at the time too as well because I don't know what's going on in the front office, and all these different things.
So I wanted to ask you too, like, what was the difference from year 1 to year 2 to year 3? Because it's funny when I look at the people on the Knicks during that time, like, there's a lot of Knick favorites. There's like Marbury, like Mark Crawford, Nate Robinson, but it was y'all were losing, but then it's like a switch happened. Like, what was the biggest difference to you from losing to winning?
Even before I get to that, I think at that time, I don't know whether it was just like off the court shit, but on paper, I think like Isaiah got a lot of flack for a lot of shit that happened, and the Knicks in general. And don't get me wrong, mistakes were made, bad trades, bad draft picks. But on paper, that team, Marbury at the 1, all at the 2, Q at the 3, Zach Randolph at the 4, Eddie Curry at the 5. You got David Lee coming off the bench, Nate Robinson, Malik Rose, Jared Jeffries, Fred Jones. Like on paper, like anybody look at that team, basketball, like back team. Like, if you didn't look at the record, just looked on paper, like this is a great team. So I don't know why it didn't work out. I can't say because I'm not the coach, but like that was a great team on paper if you look at it. You know what I mean? Like you look at those players, some of them before and some of them afterwards, they had great careers. You know what I mean? Jamal went on to win numerous 6-mans. Steph was a 20 and 10 guy forever. Before that, Zach Randolph got his jersey retired in Memphis. Eddie Curry had some good years. Q had some great years. Won 3-point contest. But I don't know. I don't know why that team didn't work out. But the biggest difference between that year and my second year was, we had a lot of guys that needed the ball. A lot of egos. Stuff wasn't working out. So I think it was just like a dark cloud. And I think the next year, even though we wasn't as good still, I think DanAntoni just brought life,
structure,
moving the ball around. At least it was fun to play. Like we was losing still, but like the game opened up more. We was free flowing, so it was just easier, at that time.
Go ahead, Lee.
So this panel knows I love the history of the Knicks, especially the 2000s, because I think in order to appreciate what we have right now, it's imperative to remember where we came from. I started rooting for the Knicks in 2002. So as soon as I started, we had that one playoff series in 2004 with Marbury, Kurt Thomas, Nazim Muhammad, and then things kind of went south. Now, when you were drafted, I was like, damn, Isaiah over here drafting some studs, bringing in some solid players. I remember when Eddie Curry got traded, I called my dad. I was like, Dad, we're winning the championship. I was like, Marbury and Eddie Curry. It didn't necessarily work out. I've always been curious, and I've always wanted to ask someone who's a part of that team. You arrived in 2007. After that, 2006 was a real bad year. In 2007, when you were drafted, the book The Blood in the Garden really did a great job detailing the 90s behind the scenes. What did you walk into? What was the feel and chemistry of the team, and what were kind of the major issues that were going on behind the scenes that stunted that team from achieving its full potential?
When I first got there, they already had the civil case going on. So that was the number one thing that was. I think that had something to do with, just some relationships and stuff. I never really got into it, but you had that going on as soon as I got there from the previous year. But I think stuff was starting to heat up when I got drafted. And I think drafting Zach Randolph was like one of those things like, well, we ain't got nothing to lose. Let's see if we can make this work. Let's go, try to hit a home run. So, adding him, he's 20 and 10. You got a 20 and 10 guy. You got a 20 and 8 guy at the point. You got a guy at the 2 that can get you crucial buckets and just go for 30 at any time. You got Q as a 3-and-D guy. I think it makes sense, from if you're just looking at it from an outside perspective. And I know like people give everybody flack for Eddie Curry and stuff like that, but Eddie was a good player, before the injuries and this chemistry problems in New York. So I think they just tried to hit a home run at that time because they only had a little bit of time to come, going forward, like getting ready for Bron and things like that. So I think they tried to hit a home run, and then it didn't work. That year it didn't work. So the next year they blew it up and like, let's get ready for Bron in 2011 or 12, whenever it was.
You mentioned one of my favorite Knicks, Eddie Curry. I think he was underrated and underappreciated, and you're right. He's kind of the poster child for a lot of the bad things that happened during that time.
Yeah.
What was he like as a teammate? Because I've heard about his struggles with mental health. I'm someone who struggles with mental health too. I've related to him in that. What kind of person was he off the court and teammate was he?
He was a great person. That all those guys were great people when I first got there. A lot of them get, like you said, get a bad rep. But Eddie was a great guy, caring, loving. Whatever is his is yours. Whatever he can do to help. And that when I came, he had the surgeries that happened like back to back. He had the family issues off the court. With the kid and. And the mom being killed and all that, and then some issues with his driver. So he just had a lot of stuff going on. Not making excuses for him, but he had a lot of stuff going on. It seems like that, you got good people, a lot of bad things happen to him. But he's a great person. I still talk to him to this day. Me, him, Q, and Nate got a group chat that we talk in, often. So yeah, he's a great dude.
Man, I was about to ask about Nate.
From a great family.
I want to know about Nate because Nate has that. Nate has that reputation of being the class cloud. So I can imagine you first being there and Nate just running the buck. Has Nate pranked you at any time?
Yeah, all the time. All the time. When I first met him, I'm like, damn, who is this guy, man? He loud as shit. And we did it. We did an interview. I don't know if we did it together, but I had just got there, and I think they might have been interviewing like the rookies or whatever, and then he just happened to be in the area, and they was asking him about like, what do you miss about like college or something like that. He was like, man, I miss having roommates, bro. I'm like, what?
Oh my God.
You got all this money down in the NBA, you want a roommate?
Yo, he love people that much, man. Like, that's the first thing I did. Is like, I got a little bit of money. I'm getting my own place. He want a roommate. That's
nah, facts. But Nate is a good dude. All of them, like I said, all of them guys is good dudes. They all still my friends now. It was good to see Steph at the Garden. I know he hadn't been back, and I know he left the NBA on bad terms. So I'm happy to see Steph back at the Garden and getting the love he appreciates. I mean, that he deserves, and people appreciate him. In my eyes, I think he's a Hall of Famer. He's one of my favorite players too, so I'm biased, but I'm glad to see him back at the Garden getting the love. And Melo too. Like, people always ask me, because I got traded for Melo, but I feel like with New York, like I never understood. Well, I understand, but I just never understood. Like, if I was a star, me personally, like I'm going to New York. Like I'm playing for the Knicks. So I never understood why stars didn't want that pressure to go play for the Knicks. Like, because I know it's a great move off the court. Like you make, like, so it can't be that. So I think it's the pressure, being at the Garden and the history of the team or whatever. But I think it's underrated, like what Melo did. Like no star came in free agency to New York. Like when's the last time a star came to New York as a free agent? Like I think the fans should love him. I love him just based off that. Like no star wanted to come and came to New York, and he came. The team wasn't great. They didn't have a lot of great players. Like, it wasn't a team that was on the up and up. None of that. What I mean? How guys look at a team and okay, they got these pieces.
Yeah.
Right. I can fit it and I can add this and we can go to the chip. It wasn't none of that. Like, I want to go to New York and I want to win. I'm going to be a star. I'm going to be Melo.
Yeah.
So I think fans should appreciate that because, like, nobody's doing that. Like, even now, like,
do we not appreciate? I feel like fans appreciate that at this, like.
No, they do, like, now, but like before when he first, like, when he was getting to the end of his career and they traded him and he went to a couple different teams, like, he got a lot of slander.
You know what? Like, I feel like a lot of that had to do with Phil Jackson. Like I feel like Phil Jackson had like
Yeah.
a weird slander campaign going on.
Facts.
His
Uh,
heart
Okay,
wasn't in it.
that makes sense. That makes sense. And that was a bad move getting Phil Jackson, man.
Right.
Facts.
Yeah. And then
I obviously like he's a goat, but that's not a good fit. You know what I mean?
nah.
Yeah.
Nah. That's why Leon Rose moved the way he moved right now. Leon Rose don't say nothing. Phil Jackson said everything. And it was annoying.
You know, Leon Rose is like they moving like Goodfellas over there. Like they doing a great job. Not only are they doing a great job, like it's a lot of pressure now too. Like a lot of like man, we need another star. We need this. We need that. Like he can easily trade a lot of assets and try to do like. He's taking his time. He's making sure like we good now. Yeah, we can be better, but I'm not gonna give away our future. For an experiment of 1 year or 2 years or whatever. He's doing what he thinks like that's the best for the team. Like he's taking his time because it's been a long time since the Knicks been relevant for an extended period of time. Like we had the years when Melo was there, it was a few years, but like a few years compared to 20, 25 years is nothing. Like so I think Leon Rose is doing a good job of like taking his time, like building and getting the right pieces. Like what I mean. So now when it's time to go out and get a second star and a third star, like we got the pieces that's gonna match well with these players.
I have a question. See, this brings me to the Draymond Green thing. Like I do not understand. You know what? I have a theory. This is my theory. My theory is he is too close to the game right now. And it'll be hard for him to admit when another team is on a come up because that's your competition. So like why were you gonna give some other guy on a come up those props? So I feel like he's gonna try to, if you're not there yet, he's always gonna look down on it. That's my theory.
I agree with that. And I hate speaking on other players. Obviously, he's had a great career. He has a better career than I have. But I think it's what you just said. He's too close to the game, and it's hard to give props to other teams on the up and up. And two, I think also, too, people look at the Knicks, and they have had years or 2 years where they're good, and they go back to being the old Knicks or whatever.
Yeah.
Like, people look at however people look at them. So I think it's a little bit of that. And also with him, I think controversy just like it sells. Like now you watch sports shows, like everybody has to have a negative view or something that's controversial, like to get people talking about it. So I think him talking about the Knicks the way he talk about them gets views as well. So
yeah, the Knicks clicks thing is real.
We're
yeah,
lucky on the show.
like like it's like the Knicks, like like it's the Knicks, so it's like controversy sells with the Knicks.
We got a great mod on the show.
Like the newspapers, it's like the newspapers thrive off the Knicks doing.
Nah, it's a fact. You just got mentioned that, so you selling it, man. That's it. They know what they doing. TNT know what they doing.
Wilson, we got a great.
But Perk is holding it down though. Perk is holding
Shout
it
out
down.
to Perk. Shout out to Perk. Gunshots to Perk.
He's
Wilson.
invited.
Go ahead, Lee.
Wilson, we got a great mod as a part of our podcast named Fritz Alcindor. He had a question he wanted me to ask for him. He's in the chat right now, keeping things hype. He wanted to know what the differences was with you playing with the Knicks compared to playing with the Nets. What was some of the institutional differences behind the scenes on the court with the way that the franchise were ran and also the fan bases as well?
The fan base, I mean, that's the obvious. Like it's the Knicks, bro. Like Brooklyn's always gonna be second fiddle. I don't care how good they are. It's the Knicks. Like,
he said
New York is
I didn't say it. He said it.
like even the area. To be honest, if we being totally honest, like Jersey is the Knicks. Like the whole area is the Knicks. It's like Brooklyn is cool. Like if we got Kyrie, KD, like we'd come to the game, but nah, we love the Knicks. We'd come if they not playing.
That's a fact. That's
a
fact. And I'm from Brooklyn, and that's
so from a fan, yeah, from a standpoint, like, so you from Brooklyn, like everybody's from like from a fan standpoint, like they'll never get the love the Knicks get. I just can't see it, like, you know what I mean? So that's not even a comparison. I don't think nobody will argue that. I don't think fans or players, anything, like, will argue that. You know what I mean? You got when the Nets had J Kidd and all those guys, they were winning. They were good, but they still weren't big as the Knicks. So.
That's true. That's true.
Yeah. And then organizations, both of them I think have had like ups and downs, you know. But the thing about the Knicks is like it's like the Cowboys, whether you're good or bad, it's gonna sell out. They either gonna come cheer, they gonna come boo.
That's a fact. It's always gonna be interest.
So
man.
business is always gonna be interest. So business is good for Dolan, regardless. You know, definitely better. You know, the team's better, good. You know, but
that's a fact.
You know, whether they're good or not, like fans gonna show up. You know, and I think now and West and all these other guys, and having still guys that were there before that know the history of the team, Allen Houston, Jamie, and all these other guys. I think you got a good mix between the past and the present and the future. Like, you know, where we come from, where we trying to go, you know, and just make sure we doing it the right way. And even adding like the alumni, like I have no business being.
Nah. You got to be there, bro. Bring Gallo.
Yeah, I know that, because you know we was some dark times, but you know, like just, you know, I appreciate things like that. You know, I can come to a game, I can get a free ticket, I could be mingling with Larry Johnson and Starks and Patrick Ewing, them like real like legends, like, you know what I mean, Clyde, you know, all these guys. So just to be, you know, able to do that and show my support, you know, for a team that I had a great time, you know, playing for, you know, it's been exciting. So I think they doing a great job, man. I even gotta give props to Dolan. He stepped back. He let them run it, you know, and they flourishing. So you know, I think everybody's happy all the way around. The fans, players, I think.
Let's go.
Bring the alumni here and stay out the way. That's what I'm talking about.
Exactly. Yeah, Tibbs and his staff are doing a great job. You know, because you know they have had a lot of injuries. You know what I mean? And I think right now, even if they would have lost to Philly, or if they would have, you know, lost, you know, if they would have got swept this round, like people would have probably looked at this like, oh, they had a lot of injuries. They didn't make excuses. This game 6, up.
I'm not gonna hold you. We thought we was winning.
No, you know, New Yorkers always think we winning. So that's never the question. But I think a lot of people had the Knicks out against Philly. Oh, let's see what they're gonna do against the Pacers. Oh, they're gonna get swept against the Celtics. That's always the thing, and they just keep proving people wrong every time.
Facts.
Yeah, facts, and that's one of the reasons why we love
the New York way. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the reasons why we love the Knicks team, because we feel like, you know, their fight, their grit is the reason that embodies New York in general, and that's why we love this team so much. So Wilson, like when you look at this
1,000%.
Yeah, so whenever you look at this Knicks team on Wilson, like, is there anybody on the roster right now where you look at them and you're like, you know what? When I played, like that guy's game resembled my game when I played for the Knicks?
Not really, man, because nowadays, like, man, players are so talented. Like, like you got 12, 13, man. Like if you watch him in warm-ups, he look like he'd be the number one option. Like, players have so much talent nowadays, you know. I don't know. I would say Josh Hart, but even with him, man, his motor is crazy. I didn't have a motor like that, to be honest. I played hard, but his is next level.
His is crazy.
Yeah, his is crazy.
Or that breast milk.
I can shoot, you know, a little bit better. I can shoot a little bit better. I can shoot a little bit better than him. So, but if I had to say somebody is close, probably him. Just, you know, the way he plays both sides of the ball. You know, he rebounds. You know, he scores. You know, he's tough. But like I said, even with his motor is much higher than mine. So,
I got you.
Yeah, but that's probably the closest.
All right.
That's what's up.
Just to bring this full circle, I just want to get your keys for the Knicks beating the Pacers tonight.
Yeah. Make Halliburton. I think make him a defender, make him play defense. I think load against them in transition. Don't let them get easy transition buckets. Keep them out of transition, and period. Make Siakam go to this weekend. Make him take some tough tools. Keep him away from the rim. I think we're doing a great job of trying to just keep doing what we're doing on him. I think he's been neutralized for the most part.
Absolutely.
And keep TJ out the paint. I think I said earlier, make him take tough shots, make him take tough threes. But I think we got to play him almost as he can shoot, because I think sometimes we back too far off of him. So now you got a full steam ahead to get in the paint. So it's tough to stop somebody coming full speed ahead of you like that in the paint. So I think not really kind of like a tweener job, like where we're not on him like too close, but we're not sagging so far off where he gets the full steam ahead to the paint.
Yo, I said that word for word like 3 days ago.
Yeah, nah, facts. Because like sometimes I'm watching the game, like even though he didn't have a great game last game, but a couple times I'm watching him, he just getting the ball and he just going full speed to the paint. And he just probing around, and eventually he gets that little mid range, or he finds an open guy. So I think just making it honest for him, just playing them honest, and then just showing the crowd in transition, makes Siakam take tough shots. Keep doing what we're doing on Miles Turner. He hasn't been too much of a big factor. And then with Halliburton, just make it tough for him in transition. Don't give him confidence early.
Nah, I agree. All right. Anybody have any questions you want to ask Wilson?
Yes, I do. I have. First, I was listening. I'm biased too with Steph, but that's because we went to the same high school. We got the same alumni, not the same time, but same.
Yeah.
So Steph,
you're from that cloth.
Steph, my guy. Definitely. I'm excited to see him be
Steph is a legend.
The proud uncle, kinda. You were talking.
Facts. Him and Starks is hilarious.
You were talking about egos also, about some of the Knicks teams, about egos, or how that could clash and things of that nature. One of the good things about people is they look at this Knicks team and they always underestimate us. They say, we don't have those big names, the big names that get people people scared, I guess. What is can you explain the importance of just not always having stars? I have a famous a saying that I say all the time. It's not famous, but I say it all the time. Is you don't need a bunch of superstars. You just need a bunch of people to star in their roles, and that's what I think. That's what we have. That's what we have. So can you explain the dynamic between just teamwork and why that is? Like you can have the big names and why it can't work.
Yeah, because you still need team chemistry. You still need important role players. I think the Warriors had, Miami had, where they had stars, but they had great role players that knew their role, that started their role. And then you look at the Suns this year, it's a really good team. They got 3 stars, three guys who could give you 34 any night, but they don't have the chemistry. One, because year and they had Beal in and out, so they wasn't able to build a chemistry. But also, you gotta have a good fit. So chemistry is everything. And then too, like people don't want to get credit. Jalen Brunson has turned into a star, whether people like it or not. You gotta look at him based off his numbers, based off just looking at the game and timely baskets and the crunch and just everything he's doing. Like he's doing what stars do. Like, so you got to give him credit for being a star. You got to consider him with the Anthony Edwards, the Jokers of the playoffs right now, because they're not doing nothing he hasn't done this whole playoff. He's been arguably the best player, and I don't think nobody can argue that, this whole playoff. So he is a star. Everybody, McBride's a star in his role. He's underrated, I think, too. He can get you a basket. And he's playing good defense. He knows when to shoot, when not. When to let Jaylen take over, and everybody else too. Even last game, guys that didn't make a lot of shots, but they made the right plays.
That's a fact.
They got stopped. Whatever it was.
Yes, definitely. I agree. I love our team. I love that we're doing it as a committee. It feels better. More of
Nah, we didn't won games every way you could possibly can.
True.
Yeah.
Beat teams with offense. We didn't thug games out at the end. We didn't win games defense and grit. You know, we went in there shorthanded and won games. You know what I mean? So
that's another thing I say. I say we could play everybody else's game, but I don't think everybody can play our game for consistent. You know,
nah. Cause if you look at Indiana and the Knicks, ain't really no difference. You know, they don't have stars really. You know, they got a lot of guys that's really good in their roles and good at what they do. They got good team chemistry. They all like each other, but they don't got that grit and that grind, that toughness that the Knicks have. I think that's the difference between the Pacers and New York.
Nah, I agree. Even with the pace,
you know,
man.
Jaylen Brunson can go. He got that Kobe thing 2 for 20.
Yeah, he does.
And hit a game winner. Like, you know, even that game 3 when they won Halliburton, you know, he took that shot, but it looked like he didn't want to take that 3.
Listen, man.
They end up getting a second. They end up getting that rebound and getting that second that second shot. You know, from the rook. You know, he hit that deep 3, but like Jaylen Brunson would have knocked that down.
This is why I don't believe them, man.
He would have.
This is why I don't believe them, man.
With confidence. And no disrespect to him because, like I said, he's much better than me. But just watching him, he didn't take that shot with confidence. Jaylen Brunson, miss or make, he would have took that shot with confidence.
Yep, exactly.
I'm supposed to be taking it. I'm about to make this shot. You know what I mean? So I think that's the difference between the point guard play, and I think that's the difference between the teams in general. Like they don't have that swagger that the Knicks have when it comes to toughness and grit.
Pressure situations normally show you who a person is. So we right?
Nah, facts. Yeah.
That's a fact. Brunson don't need a pep talk to take the last shot. Like that. Like he's not gonna have a game where he shoots nine shots in the whole game. So
nah, not at all. Unless he's hurt or some shit like that, and even then, he probably.
Even if he's hurt, he might be like, I got the angle.
To be honest, I don't think there's nobody on the team that doesn't take shots with confidence. Like everybody, they out there playing like, man, I'm supposed to be here. We supposed to be here, and I can make this shot. You know, sometimes we turn down shots trying to get better shots, but I don't think no players is not taking shots like without confidence.
I agree. I don't know if anybody else have any questions. I know he has to leave at like 5:30.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I have one more question too, real quick. I know you were talking about Nate Robinson also. How was it when you had weren't you like a prop in one of his dunks? For the
man. That's one of my regrets to this day because he didn't have anything planned. I'm like, why are you like, bro, you've been in 4 dunk contests in a row. Like you don't have anything planned. And I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to do it because I was like, that's not really my thing to be out in front of a lot of people, especially that we're not playing ball. So I'm like, bro, it's just me. I throw the ball, like throw a oop or something like that and just throw it all the way off. I don't want to do it. So he finally got me to where I said, okay. So he never once practiced on like what he was going to do that weekend. Never told me. So we get there. I'm like, bro, what are you going to do, bro? I'm getting nervous for real. Like, you know what I mean? I don't want to. He's like, man, I want to jump off your back. I'm like, jump off my back.
But
it's like we there already. Like the shit about to start. So I'm like, man,
that is nerve-wracking.
Bro. I'm like,
what?
He said, man, just don't hurt me, right? Yeah. Just don't hurt me.
Facts, just to hurt me. You know what I mean?
That's crazy.
But that's my guy, man. It's one of my close friends. So,
shout out to him. Hopefully he gets his. I know he's having health problems too. Hopefully that gets squared away.
Yeah, man. Yeah, that's terrible. So I think we all feel the same way about that. So,
Spurs up.
Yeah, man. Salute to our guy Nate.
Good dude.
His family.
Yeah,
but he's still killing it though. He's still same person. You know, still talk the same. Good mood. Doing good things with his kid. His oldest kid is in Colorado with Deion Sanders. You know. His younger boy playing ball. His daughter's playing ball.
That's what's up.
He's still doing this.
That's what's up. Oh, you also got a fan question. He sends a $9.99 super chat. It says, Shout out Wilson, my favorite player when I started following basketball. And the Knicks, what is your favorite moment as a player on the team? I'll go with the dunks against McGee and Garnett. Oh yeah, anything against any Celtic, I'm with it.
Yeah, nah. Nah, you know what's crazy is like that definitely I like that the moment against I think it's the same game against the Celtics. So I think to start the game in the first quarter, the KG blocked my shot into the stands. He yelled real hard in my ear. I think I hit 30 that game. I think it's the same game, but my favorite, you know what's crazy? It's not even a great memory. It's a great memory, but it's not for me personally, but I think it's my favorite time with the Knicks is because it just showed me it's just like, dog, you gotta compete. You gotta bring something to the table to have a long career in this game. Like we played the week we played the Lakers, the Cavs, and the Celtics. That Monday, Wednesday, Friday, it was like a triple-headed snake. We played Kobe. He had the 61.
Mm-hmm.
Then we played Bron. Then we played the Celtics big three, and he had the game winner. Paul Pierce had the game winner. It was just a long ass week, and I'm like, what the fuck, man?
Oh, wait a minute. Yeah, that was like the week where everybody was just going off. Yeah, I remember that.
Just going crazy. Like they just trying to outdo each other. And I had to guard Kobe. He had the 61. I had to guard Brown. He had the 50-point triple-double.
Damn.
Celtics game, I'm guarding KG, Paul Pierce, and Rondo. Same game.
Oh my gosh.
It's just crazy. I don't know why, but I always look at that week like, man, like, and I just look at it, and that I'm like, if I can get through this, I could play 15 years in the NBA, bro. Like
that's just yeah.
And then it was tough. It was tough too, because like you know we wasn't known for defense. That team wasn't known for defense.
Right,
DanAntoni.
Yeah.
I was calling Mike Antoni.
Ain't no team. Ain't no he get past me. I got help at the rim.
This is why you stayed in the league as long as you did. It was like, well, Wilson played defense on that team, so I know he gonna try. Bring him on, like.
Facts. Yeah.
But I get it. But that's a rough week going against Kobe
But I'm grateful for that year though, because my first 2.5, 3 years with the Knicks, man, that was some rough years. And then that last year that I got traded, we was finally having some small successes.
Yeah.
I think we was 7-8 seed.
Yeah, like 50.
So I enjoyed that. Yeah,
Yeah,
that first half of the season, I enjoyed it a lot. You know, just being able to have some success. You know, being with the Knicks. You know, it's different in New York when decent, man.
Yeah, that team was kind of.
I enjoyed that year.
That team before the trade happened was built like that Magic team with Dwight. You had Stoudemire at center, and then a bunch of like rangy wings surrounding him to shoot the 3-ball and defend. It was fun to watch.
It was.
Yeah, it was an underrated team, and we had played certain teams. We were just a bad matchup for them. Like Chicago was really good that year, those years, and we would beat them consistently. That D Rose team with Lou
Tibbs.
So we like certain teams we was a bad matchup for them. We had some success against some good teams, so I was excited and happy for that year.
Yeah, man, that was a weird year too when we actually traded you guys and we had to play you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Half of our team was on the Nuggets, so it was like
for real.
It was weird, right?
You feel weird. It's like Toronto now. Like whenever we play Toronto, I'm just like, damn, Quick and RJ. And it's you're like, all right, do good, but not too good. It's like it's a weird feeling.
Facts. Facts.
But man. Any more questions before we wrap it up?
Wilson, I got a special request for you, brother.
Okay.
I know you've seen on Twitter.
Yes, sir.
You've seen a lot of Knicks fans talking about how seeing, especially you and Marbury specifically in the Garden, has been kind of like therapy.
Yes.
For those very difficult years for the fans. Those years were also difficult for y'all as well. Losing does something to the psyche, as I'm sure you know better than any of us with those very difficult seasons with New York. I personally, and a lot of people I know, would love to see Eddie Curry there with the Knicks faithful. Can we get Eddie Curry in the Garden for a playoff game? I think that would break Twitter, man, if that happened.
Yeah, I think it would come if the opportunity presents itself. You know, if management, and him, talked about it. I don't think he would turn it down. I think he would go. I actually after going to it, a couple of players like, man, why you haven't? I hit J.R. Smith on DM, like, bro, why you haven't went to the
Shump
Garden?
too, man. Like that's the other two-way guy.
Yeah. Facts. And I was like, man, so Swish, bro, if you went to the game, bro, the Garden would go crazy. And I wasn't even on the team with him. I would just still pay attention to the Knicks once I was going. And I know he had some great years, and I know he was a fan favorite. And I was just thinking in my head, like, bro, more players, underrated players need to go, and get that experience and get some love. He one of the guys I hit about that. He told me, like, he was like, I don't know if you want me to share it or not, but he was just like, I'm gonna go ahead and do it anyway. He was just like, I don't think I got a good relationship with them,
I feel
they
like
act funny with me for real. So I don't know what that is. He didn't go into depth with it,
right?
And I know
I can't
make it up, but hopefully they can get that fixed where he can go to the game, because I think that'd be great for fans and him.
Are you talking about JR?
You talking about JR? You talking about JR?
Yeah, JR.
See, but Lee's mentioned this on
man. JR got some highlights at the Garden
for sure.
Yes.
Yeah, he do.
No.
He do.
He's been one of my favorite players. I followed him in high school, so I loved J.R. Smith throughout.
If you didn't know, if you took away like social media and TV and you just seen like some highlights of JR, you didn't know his career path, you would swear he's a superstar.
That's a fact.
Like he had superstar ability. Like when you watch some of his highlights, like damn, like, hey, bro was really good. He was talented.
Nah, that's a fact. I want JR and Shump here, to be honest with you. And Lee kind of mentioned this earlier.
Facts.
Lee mentioned how like this regime has been all about patching up stuff, man. Like they've been patching up a lot of old stuff. So I don't feel like whatever's happening between JR and the Knicks, I don't feel like it's unpatchable the way they move it. Like we pieced it. We did a trade with Toronto and they was suing us. You know what I'm saying? Like
right. Nah, facts. It's crazy because I never even really thought about even coming to the games, and like someone was like, "Man, you should go to a Knicks game. They doing this alumni thing. Like you should reach out to them." And it was just like, "All right, you want to come to a game? Cool."
Well,
I never even thought about it, and I think that's cool because I get a lot of why you don't come to Knicks games. I'm like, bro, the Knicks just make it so easy. It's just like I don't know, like. I just go. I got asked for a ticket. They like, oh, what game you want to come to? It's just so easy that I'm there. Like, you know what I mean? So,
man,
Wilson, they do a good job of that.
The reason I say Eddie Curry is because you touched on it. There's very few Knicks players that have been through more personal strife, and a lot of what happened to him was not his fault. And he went through a lot of really difficult situations that affected his mental. And I think for the fans of your age and my age, late 30s, early 40s, to see him in the Garden, I think would just be pure therapy for everybody involved, but most importantly him. So if you know someone to put a button in their ear, please put Eddie Curry back in the Garden.
Yeah, I definitely reach out to him. Like I said, we got a group chat. I talk to him a lot. And I know he works with the BPA now, so I know he's like traveling to different teams and doing certain things. So I think he definitely would, and I don't think the Knicks would say no. I don't think, but I know Wes is his guy as well. So
awesome.
I think that's easily.
So there you go.
Let's go.
I hope the fans show him some love because I didn't see some fans. I didn't see some fans not welcome some players too though.
Really?
Now Knicks.
Well,
I was playing with the Knicks. Charles Smith used to come to a lot of games, and they still used to be, man, why is he here?
Only one I can see, KP may be the only one I can see people like.
Yeah. KP.
Because who was that?
Kristaps Porzingis. That's the only one I can really see people.
I don't know. I feel like they still would be like. I feel like now it's like been enough time to where like the team is good now. And I think like they'd be cool.
I don't know, like, and the fact that he's with the Celtics too is like a double. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Like, if he wasn't playing, if he wasn't playing anymore, I think he'd be good. But now he's a rival with the Celtics.
Right.
Like, I think that it's gonna be tough. But like if he wasn't playing, I think time has passed to where he'd be cool.
Yeah. Some people got us. It started.
It was the head faking. Yeah. That's why with Charles Smith, the head faking.
Charles Smith. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna keep it a buck. He probably the only player. He the only player like I seen consistently get that.
Yeah, I can
outside
see
of
that.
like this. Like, that was retired. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
when I was playing,
that's
like
what
I heard a lot of
damn.
talk shit to the current players, but that's because we playing bad. As a retired player, he's the only player I've seen. Like, man, they still hate this guy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
Damn.
Damn. I feel bad
That's
for him, but I
wild.
can see. Damn.
Yeah. But even now though, but maybe that's because like you suck at the time, and then you just remind them of a bad time. Like now that the team is good, and maybe it'd be different. You know what I mean?
Winning cures all ills, man. Winning cures all ills.
Yeah,
facts.
it's like the most famous blunder in Knicks history.
And like I said, like the Knicks fans, they gonna come. They either gonna cheer, or they gonna come to boo.
Oh, somebody said Jerome. Yeah, Jerome probably.
Junkyard Dog.
No, not Junkyard Dog.
Not Junkyard Dog. Cool.
Jerome James.
Well, yeah.
The one we was drafted.
Yeah. Jerome James. Oh, Junkyard Dog is valid. Junkyard Dog is always valid.
He came.
I know.
Jerome James came in that Seattle. He had that good series.
Yeah.
Last series in Seattle, he had that good series. He got paid.
Yeah, he could give him all the money.
Yeah, but I was there with Jerome. He's a good dude too. It's tough like when you talking about your teammates that's good people.
Right.
Court, like he wasn't playing when I was there. I used to wonder like, damn man. But he also a good dude too. So like,
I feel that.
Yeah. It's my rookie. I ain't even playing, so it's just like, bro, I ain't got no business.
That's right.
Let me focus on myself.
I hear you. Oh man, yo, would you have a hard time if the Nuggets and the Knicks meet in the finals? Would you be like, I don't know who to root for?
Nah. Somebody just asked me that yesterday on Twitter. I was like, man, I just have to act like I was on Drink Champs and just take a drink. Like like it's crazy because like I know like I got some good years and some good memories with the Knicks, but I spent more time with the Knicks, so
that makes sense.
A lot of connections. I was there with Joker. I actually played with Joker and Jamal.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Joker was one of my rooks. You know what I mean? Just to see the success he's having and Jamal's having. Like I played for Mike. You know what I mean? So it's a little different with that because they got players that I still like. I played with and I was coached by Mike. So. Yeah.
Got you. That makes a lot of sense.
But I got equal love for both teams though. I like this game. Like I said, like the Knicks just make it so easy, like the program that they doing. But at the end of the day, even though I played longer with the Nuggets and I played, with Jamal and Joker and played for Mike, it's still like nothing like the Garden though. You know what I mean? So
that's right, damn it.
The Garden it's a different place.
Like,
even those pictures, I don't know if you seen those pictures they just did the last game with Melo and Patrick and all of them. Where you got the ceiling in the background.
They're sick.
Like, you know exactly where they at. Like, outside of them being Knicks, you know exactly where they at. Like I don't think no arena has a place like in the inside of the arena. You can just take a picture anyway. You know where they at.
Yeah. It's the world's most famous arena for a reason, man. Iconic.
Those photos are amazing.
Definitely amazing. All right. Yo,
yeah.
Thank you for coming through, man. I really appreciate you giving us your time. I feel like we did like a weird mix of Pacer talk.
For sure.
I felt weird trying to concentrate on one thing because I wanted to know so much. But I appreciate you coming through.
We'll get they go to the next round. We'll get another session in or something.
Let's
That's
go.
what's up.
Let's go.
Appreciate that, man.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, Wilson. I know you gotta meet your daughter and stuff.
Let me get to this game, man.
Good luck tonight,
get a
daughter.
Yeah, appreciate it.
Good luck tonight, man.
It's nice talking to you.
Salute to you.
Yeah. I'm gonna be looking. I appreciate y'all too for taking the time out and inviting me on. So
hell yeah.
I'll be checking. I to watch the game because they play at the same time. So I'll be checking it on my phone. So hopefully, they get a dub and my daughter get a dub.
Hell yeah.
Yes, sir.
And we do post games too, so we're gonna be talking about it too, breaking down the game. So if you ever want to come through and post games or whatever, you just want to open an invite, man. Open an invite.
All right, bet. Appreciate it.
I appreciate it.
First game.
Yeah.
All right, enjoy the game.
All right. Enjoy the game.
All
right. All right, that's the man. The plan. Wilson Chandler came in. some Knicks talk. It was like half Pacer talk, half Pregame, half was just shoot the stuff.
Y'all tell out Eddie Curry.
Shout out to Eddie Curry.
I love Eddie Curry, man. That's my guy.
I love J.R. Smith. It's okay. You know
I'm Team Shump over here.
Yeah, you know how you have people have like the non-superstar, I guess.
Yeah.
That's mine. He's in my top 5 actually. I love JR. When people don't remember the prime JR when he still has 46-inch vertical.
Nah, everybody remember that.
Yeah.
There's like videos all over the place of that.
No, you'd be surprised, Jay. You'd be surprised. People really just thought he was a 3-and-D type of player.
Nah,
really?
Yes, like the younger generation, they dead seriously just think that J.R. Smith is a 3-and-D. You give him like not the 12-year-old. You give him like younger than
like 25, 30 and under, like
yeah.
So they're probably only familiar with his Cleveland Cavaliers days. They're not,
exactly.
Okay, the wrong way Smith days.
Yeah, that's what they remember.
J.R. Smith
people don't remember he was out here embarrassing people on a regular.
Fact.
That's a fact. But shout out to you guys who hope you guys enjoyed the interview. Impromptu, last minute, but I hope you guys enjoyed it. Shout out to King Ribby. Shout out to Phil Porto. Hold on. Big shout out to Morning Brew for holding us down, man. That's like second fam over there. Shout out to Morning Brew, Frank White, Phil Porto, Frank Sound, Robert Eggman, Alawise, D. Ross, Frank White. If you like the show, hit that like and subscribe. We're here after every post game talking Knicks basketball. And now seemed like Wilson enjoyed himself here. We might have him back. He seemed like he's down to just kind of kick it with us, which is kind of dope. And this is a big deal for us, man, because shout out to Lee. Shout out to Lee for a second, because everybody has their own strengths, right? They have I usually have like a pretty good vision of where things can go if you build it. They're a ton type of stuff. Ryan G, he's like really steady. If you need him to do something, he's gonna do it. Shout out to Ebony, she just got here. D1 Baller, she connects with people, and she's an artist as well. Lee's what I like to call a connector, right? Lee is a connector, which is funny enough because he's kind of spicy, but he's like a spicy connector.
All facts.
But outside of the Knick knowledge and the history and the debating and stuff, he's a connector. And extremely happy to have Lee on this squad because he kind of fills in some holes here outside of his basketball. That helps keep KOT moving along. So shout out to Lee for reaching out and helping us get that interview. All right.
Of course, bro. Of course. And you know what, man? I'm not pitching myself. I'm pitching you. So I think when I looped you in, all he had to do is go to the channel, see the quality content, see your inspiration, your designs that you made for every episode. This is you. This is your plan. So he didn't sign up for me. He signed up for you. And you came out that you led a great discussion, letting all of us have an opportunity to talk. So props to you, bro. You deserve that love as well.
I appreciate it. And not to say I don't I give myself credit for having the vision and to do it, but I also understand what it is to move with people who want to move in the same direction. You know what I'm saying? Like I can't do everything by myself.
That is true, yeah.
So
I'll shoot my shot.
Yeah. I can't do everything by myself, and I need people to help move stuff along and be strong where I'm not as strong. So I appreciate you guys who help me along in places where I'm not as strong, and you're helping push the ship all in the right direction. So I appreciate that. It's all right.
I appreciate y'all for accepting all my goofiness. I appreciate
it. And it's kind of crazy because Ebony's always saying that when it comes to team building, that you don't need superstar players to make a team great. It's everybody who stars in their role, and that's how we are too. Like everybody stars in their role, and that's how this show pushes forward.
Absolutely, man. Star in our role. All right.
Real quick before we close, I just want to say shout out to my big sis. I see you, VS and Queen in the chat. I see you. Shout out to all the chats they said they was great interview too. They was loving the interview, so we appreciate.
I'm glad you enjoyed it because this was so off. This was like This is like the most like rush questions I ever had to getting everything together. Like this is like the most. This is our first NBA player we've had on the channel because we had a lot of media personalities here. So this is our first NBA player we had on the channel. So I'm glad that we was able to kind of do that and pull it off, and kind of just pull things together as quickly as we did. So salute to you guys. All right,
and you got another super chat.
Yeah, JT. See my guy JT Riddick. Yeah. That's gonna be my next trainer, JT Riddick. If it's not Nate Robinson, because Nate Robinson is my my body goals. Shout out to Nate Robinson.
Nate Robinson.
But shout out to JT Riddick, who's a wrestler. He says, "Yeah, salute, great interview, KOT." Man, I appreciate you, man. Long time follower.
Draymond is next. That's funny. Draymond is I'm hearing in these streets that he's ducking smoke.
Yeah,
so I don't think Draymond is gonna find a Knick pod ever.
Yeah, I mean Draymond. Hey, Draymond, if you don't like the pressure of big platforms, you can come here. You know, it's fine. You can get some smoke here, so you only get smoked by like a few hundred people, a few thousand people. You know, instead of like.
Shout out Benji Kleiner in the chat, my main man Benji. Uncut Gems, what's going on, big bro? Also, Nick Yak with a great compliment. Good interview for first time pro. I agree. Shout out JEllis. Great interview.
True that.
Shout out everything. It was just me. I'll have to. Yo. Oh, DK says DK EJ21 JEllis. I appreciate you and all you done since the garage. Oh, we got a garage. KOT fan.
Garage.
You was there during the SoundCloud. He was on SoundCloud. You even know what I look like. He just heard my voice. That's crazy.
Man, yeah. Shout out Kathy and shout out Edson.
Yes.
Started out with us in the garage.
Yeah, shout out to Edson's garage and shout out to Kathy, man. Whew. All right, man. We'll be back though. We'll be back. There still is a game to play tonight at 8:30. So hopefully we get that win. I hope to see McBride shut down Tyrese Halliburton. I hope to see Hartenstein give 21 more offensive rebounds tonight, shattering Charles Oakley's offensive rebound record. And I hope to see Alec Burks drop another 20 points today off the bench and solidify himself as Bojan 3.0. All right. That's what I'm hoping to see today. All right. So thank you guys for watching. So, Lee, let them know where they can find you, man.
On Twitter @_Lee Escobedo, LEEESCOBEDO. I'm the #1 Tibbs fan club president. That's my main hashtag extend Tibbs. I had no time for smoke. I mean, I have a hard time watching other playoff series. I'm so obsessed with my New York Knicks 24/7, thinking about how we can win this game. I love you guys. Find me on Twitter.
Absolutely. Oh my God. I can't believe we didn't even discuss how Tibbs is getting the Knicks are preparing to offer Tibbs an extension north of 10K. So shout out to Tibbs.
Do it. We gotta talk about that in the post game. So we gotta talk about that in the post game.
Yeah. So shout out to Tibbs, and I guess we'll get into that in the post game. But I absolutely think that he's freaking deserve it. You go to the second round, you're missing Julius Randle and all of your starters. Pretty much everybody who's playing now in the starting lineup didn't start on day one, and we're on the brink of going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Sounds like an extension to me. It sounds like a no-brainer. All right. All right. Ebony, I don't know where they can find you.
Find me here every post game and sometimes pregame. Or you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Mad Knick Fan. Every pregame I run a space soon actually. Your Take Knicks on Twitter. Post space I run do bowling with the Queens for the Liberty. So I'm two seasons right now. And coming soon with the Morning Brew is the Liberty Latte. So
I
was in the space the other day. Great show, Ebony.
Thank you. Appreciate you coming through.
Yo, shout out to my guy Ron in the building from Celtics fans. I hit him up the other day. I was like, yo, Ron, I can't believe I never had you on the show. And like, he's mad cool. Like, that's my dude. So we definitely gonna have you on the show soon. I'm thinking maybe like, after this series, I'll hit you up. All right, so keep an eye on that. Shout out to my guy Ron. Definitely subscribe to his channel over there. Oh, and good job on Dexter's show, man. Good job on Dexter's show.
Yes,
Hell
I
yeah.
saw that.
Mm-hmm.
I saw it. Now Ron's definitely a good.
Yeah. Solid dude. Good peoples. All right. Ryan G, let them know they can find you, man.
You can find me on Twitter at RyanGKOT. You can also find me on Instagram at Sir G is
Sir
chilling.
G is chilling.
That's SIR. G is CHILLIN.
All right. Hey, this is like a milestone, man. It's like, all right, got a
Yeah.
media personality, we got Ian, we had Mark, we had some milestones today, got interviewed by Dexter, and then we got Wilson Chandler, first NBA player. Yeah, man. This is yeah, man.
Only the beginning, baby.
All the
Only the
beginning,
beginning.
baby.
Let's go.
Yo, Marbury
Yes,
was
sir.
good. Yo, Nate.
Come
Was
through.
good.
Pull
Lincoln
up.
alumni.
Yo, Eddie Curry was good.
Let's go.
Yo, pull up.
Pull out.
Travis Knight, pull up.
Man, it was good.
Yo,
Yeah,
yo,
fact.
even big.
He said Travis Knight.
Travis Knight, what up?
Even Big Perk, yo, the governor, pull up, come through,
Andy
yo.
Robbins, what up?
He said,
James
I'm
Dolan, pull
still
up.
stuck on Travis Knight.
Oh man.
Yo, I've been
I just
wanting
want to say
Nate.
shout out real quick.
Yo, I want Kylo Quinn so bad.
In the chat too.
I want
Brutus,
Kylo
my guy
Quinn.
Brutus.
Shout
Kylo
out,
Quinn,
Brutus.
Queens native.
I want Kylo Quinn,
The
man.
mayor.
Kylo Quinn is
Yes, the
hilarious.
mayor.
That's my guy.
Brutus.
Speaking of guys who were really good in the dark eras, I love Kylo Quinn. All right, yo, that's the show, guys. Thank you guys for watching, and as always,
shout out the worldwide west. Everywhere we go, we leave a worldwide mess.
the mess out here in these Knicks YouTube streets. That's the show. We out this mug.
Peace.
That is right.
New York, big city of dreams. New York, big city of dreams.
All right.